Hey gang, this is Harry. I've redone my timeline for Church Century Christianity. I've included a few things. I've corrected a few things. I've included Roman emperors on top and the kings of Israel on the bottom. Someday when I work on it further, I'll include high priests and such characters or notable people during the time of the first century. Well, let's begin. Herod the Great was the king of Israel. At that time, he was Idumean, half Jewish, half Edomite. He wasn't really a legitimate king. And we have the emperor is Augustus, or some known as Octavian. So we have John the Baptist, about 6 months before the birth of Jesus. And then we have the death of Herod, 4 BC. Now we can approximate the birth of Jesus, by Matthew 2:16, where Herod ordered the death of children in Bethlehem, ages 2 years and younger. So we know Herod's death. So by that, 2 years and younger, we can approximate the birth of Jesus, So between 5 and 6, some even say closer to 4, it all depends. After Herod the Great died, I call him only that because Josephus called him that. There's his 3 sons, not his original sons. There's a lot of story about his dealing with his family. He killed, this is the second Philip. I think there was another Philip that he killed. Someday I'll get to that, but for now it's Herod Antipas, Tetrarch of Galilee and Perea. He is the one that had John the Baptist killed. And he was pretty much the main focus during the trial of Jesus when Pontius Pilate sent Jesus back to Herod. It was this Herod. There's Herod Philip. His wife married, or his former wife married Antipas. That was the reason when John the Baptist criticized him for marrying her. That's why he was beheaded, because of the wife. And there's Herod Archelaus. He was Etharch of Judea until about 6. You see right here. Rome annexes Judea after the revolt of Judas the Galilean. Judea is especially Jerusalem, is a hotbed of activity of emotions concerning the temple and the holy city. So after that, they set up prefects. We have Coponius and Bibulus, Rufus, Gratus, and we have here Tiberius. He was the emperor pretty much during the life of Jesus. And we have Pontius Pilate, the prefect, whom we all know. And we got the crucifixion of Jesus, after the Passover, or at the Passover, the day of Pentecost. Paul's conversion. It's considered, most Bible scholars consider between 2 and 3 years after the crucifixion of Jesus was the conversion of Paul. Alright, death of James, John's brother. This is Herod Agrippa. He was the one that ordered it. He was the one that died, being eaten or consumed by worms. This is the book of James. James, Jesus' half-brother, wrote this. And then a few more prefects: Marilus, Fadus, Alexander. Oh, Cumanus, Let's see, let's go back to here. We have the Jerusalem Council, Paul's first missionary journey. Um, these are dates are approximate, so don't hold me to it. Uh, Emperor Claudius expelled Jews from Rome. Remember, Aquila and Priscilla were, they had just happened to meet Paul because they were expelled from Rome. This was covered in Acts. Luke covered this in Acts briefly. And then we have Paul before Gallio. This is when there was an uprising. And writing the book of Galatians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Corinthians. We have Paul's second missionary journey here. And we have Paul's third missionary journey. Paul was taken in Jerusalem. Remember when he brought the gift of money to bring to the Jerusalem church. And then you see Felix, Festus. This is where you remember Paul was captive. He appeared before Felix and Festus and Agrippa II. Agrippa II was a person whom we read that Paul, where he said, "Thou almost persuadest me to be a Christian." This is Harold Agrippa II, that's the man. Okay, let's get to the Gospels here. The writing of the Gospel of Mark and Matthew, between 45 and 58. At least that's my estimate. And Luke's Gospel, 58 to 60, while Paul was in Jerusalem, Judea, that area. And well, it was held in pretty much Palestine proper. Luke was able to get access to witnesses, to the writings that were probably being accumulated at the Jerusalem church. Possibly Matthew, a copy of Matthew and Mark. And let's see, let's go on. We have the writing of the book of Acts, Paul's first Roman imprisonment, and the writing of the prison epistles. This is how we, or at least I date the Gospels. We know the writing of the book of Acts ended with Paul being in the first Roman imprisonment under house arrest, you see at the end of Acts. And then shortly after, Paul was released for his fourth missionary journey, when he wrote Timothy, Titus, there's in Rome, book of Hebrews. There's Peter. Peter wrote his letters there. 2 Timothy. This is during Paul's second Roman imprisonment and close to his death. Apostle Peter's death. The exact dates of the deaths are subject to some speculation, research, opinion, all those mixed in together. Let's see, we have Nero here. So we notice that during the 60s was a very turbulent time. Then we have this period where Galba, also and Vitellius. This is around 68, 69, where after the death of Nero, there was like 3 emperors in succession. Probably only lasted months at a time before Vespasian took over. The destruction of Jerusalem temple, and that was under Titus, who was a general at that time. The book of Jude, some consider around 75-ish, was written. Date range of the Gospel of John, 1st, 2nd, 3rd John. Book of Revelation. And both put John's death around 100. And if you remember in John, the later Gospel. John, most considered at that time maybe like 15 to 17 years old. So by 100 he was a fairly old man, so 15 to 17, adding on some 30 years after the crucifixion. He was at least 90, I guess most believe. So that's it. I hope you liked it. If you want a copy of this timeline image, I can send it to you. I can send it to you as a JPEG. It's up to you. Just contact me through Facebook or through my YouTube account. Thanks for watching.